As you're probably aware by this point, there are quite a few different vegan family YouTube channels that cover the topic of raising their children vegan, and these children can be anywhere from the ages of being complete babies to toddlers, 5, 6, 7, young preteens to teens, and the whole thing is covered. And with that, there always comes a wave of skepticism and controversy, and as you know, the internet loves controversies, so there is a lot of drama that surrounds this topic. So I wanted to make this video to kind of give you my opinions, but since I don't actually have any children and I'm not gonna have a baby anytime soon, I wanted to bring my good friend and brother, John Venus, onto the channel because, as you may or may not know, he just had little Noah very recently and he is raising his child vegan. And I thought this would be a really interesting topic for him to spread his idea of how he decided to approach this when he knew that he was gonna have a baby soon, how he decided on researching, how he decided on making up his mind on how he would do it. And quickly, my opinion is, if I was going to have a baby, I would absolutely raise him vegan, but I would do the utmost amount of research that I possibly could to make sure that I was doing it the most perfect way that I possibly could. Because as you probably already deduce and know, you can raise your child vegan and raise him completely unhealthily. You could raise him on curly fries and on crackers and prepackaged foods and things like that, and he could be completely vitamin deficient. People for some reason think that raising your kid non-vegan gives you a much larger chance of having a healthy child than if you raise it vegan, but I think on either sides of the spectrum, you can have people who are raising their kid on curly fries and fast food and packaged foods and not raising it with a healthy diet with fruits and vegetables or vitamins at all. So I wanted to give that a little bit of a pretext before we jump into this interview with my good friend John Venus. Make sure you check out his channel and enjoy the video.
All right, so the first thing is, like when you guys first found out that you were gonna have a baby, did you guys have a conversation about whether or not you were gonna raise him vegan, or was it kind of just always the plan?
Yeah, so we've been vegan for 4 years now, more or less, and you know, we've done so much research. My wife Catherine, she is a nutritionist, so we've been, you know, surrounding ourselves with people with a lot of, you know, training in nutrition and, you know, doctors and that kind of stuff. So we feel super confident in the research that is out there, and obviously we wouldn't take a decision this big without feeling 100% confident that this is the right thing to do for the baby. So it was never like a discussion at all because we felt so confident in the research, and yeah, we just basically, it was never something to consider at all.
Right, yeah, like it wasn't like a snap decision. No. You like already had like a lot of
yeah, it was easy because all we need to do is, you know, just think about, you know, if we're already focusing on doing what's best for our bodies and you know, eating clean whole plant foods, why would you change that to something that is less optimal when you're having a baby or going into a pregnancy? So
right, yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it too. Not that I'm gonna have a baby anytime soon, but since you had a lot of people kind of talking to you about this on your channel and your content stuff, what's the thing that, like, what's the most common thing that people, or some of the most common things that people have asked you or said about having a baby and all that kind of stuff? You
know, I think the B12, the omega-3, the protein, you know, it's pretty much the usual things that people ask us about.
Yeah.
It's basically the same exact thing. So people ask, you know, how is he gonna get enough omega-3? You know, if he's not eating fish oil or whatever, or how is Catherine gonna be able to grow this baby without, you know, enough of the minerals like iron, zinc, and that kind of stuff. So it's basically the same questions. I don't think it changes too much. I guess with a baby or when you're pregnant, people get more emotional about it because they think you're not just harming your own health, you're harming your baby's health, and that is, you know, super cruel and wrong. So it's pretty much the same kind of questions, but kind of like more asked in a more aggressive way, more emotional way. So it's a lot, you know, harder to answer people because they're not satisfied with a simple answer. You have to really go into the research and you know, really explain why it's actually optimal.
Right.
So it's the same thing. It's just nutrients in general.
So how do you answer that? Like, do you have an answer for like the omega stuff?
Yeah, I mean, like omega-3s, it's simple. Like even if you, you know, the conversions, like DHA, EPA, all that kind of stuff, like the conversions do happen in your body from, if you're eating hemp seeds, for example, it does happen, but maybe your body is not efficient enough to convert it to, you know, the omega-3s that you're actually needing. That is one of the biggest arguments. And, you know, just to be on the safest side possible, you can just take an algae supplement, which is exactly would be the same as taking fish oil, because that is where the fish actually get their omega-3s from. So you just go straight from the source, and that's it. Just as an insurance policy, Catherine took omega-3 supplementation from algae. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what we answer for omega-3s. And then B12, obviously we supplement with B12. We've done it for years. I keep forgetting about it, but Catherine's been consistently doing it while she was pregnant. And then also, like, just again as an insurance policy, prenatal vitamins as well while she was pregnant. And this is not like, you know, unique to a vegan pregnancy. Everyone who's pregnant takes these vitamin supplements. It's just like every bodybuilder that is not vegan also takes protein powders and that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing.
It just gives you like a little insurance, make sure you are hitting all the 100% on everything and stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so I already know your answer to this one, but I have to answer it because, you know, people are going to ask this. Do you think it's safe to raise your kid vegan?
No, it's not. Just might want to cut that out. People are gonna just take this bit and like repost it online.
Yeah, totally.
No, absolutely. Yeah. It's 100% safe to raise a kid vegan, as long as you're doing it responsibly. Because a vegan doesn't really mean anything other than avoiding animal products. So you can, you know, a vegan diet can be you know, just a French fry or Oreo diet as well. So
true.
It's just like, as long as you're, you know, knowledgeable about what foods are healthy for you and eating a lot of, you know, a varied whole plant food diet, then, you know, you're getting all the nutrients that you need. And if you're unsure, you can just use an app called like Chronometer, for example, where it breaks down all the vitamins and minerals and omega-3s, everything, just to make sure that you're on the right track and eating healthy.
Yeah, like regardless of diet, there's responsible and non-responsible parents.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter what diet you're talking about, you can always mess it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You could always end up giving your kid Oreos until he's 12. And
exactly. I guess the only trouble is explaining to other people, like family and friends, and people who are you know, not knowledgeable about this lifestyle. And it's, like I said before, people get extra emotional and extra skeptical when it's like involving kids and infants and that kind of stuff. So that's been the only challenge. Like I said, he's still breastfed, so like we're not even, you know, giving him any food at all.
Yeah. Have you gotten hate yet? Like,
I mean, yeah, for
saying
sure.
Like you're killing your kid and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, not on my social media platforms, but you know, you get loads of people making videos about me and my wife, you know, like saying how abusive we are as parents and that kind of stuff. So you can find stuff on the internet. You know,
that's kind of what I was imagining would come out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some trolls dedicated to, like, you know, trying to ruin our lives.
Those YouTube trolls, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, I get a kick out of it though. It's kind of funny.
It is pretty amazing. Yeah, it's all about like how you take it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's just like the steroid comment. You either like really annoyed or you're like, that's amusing.
Yeah.
What tips would you give to people who are in pregnancy and are going to have a baby, or if their kid is maybe a couple years old and then they want to think about transitioning into having that kid be vegan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it's completely different if you're planning a pregnancy or when you already have a kid that is you know, whatever, like a young child or even in their teens or something. I think the approach is completely different. But going into a pregnancy or planning a pregnancy out, I think obviously doing the research, like I said before, like really know your stuff, know what foods to eat that are healthy. So get a good mix of, you know, grains, legumes, fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds, and just, you know, make sure to check your vitamins and mineral levels by using an application like MyFitnessPal Chronometer. And that's pretty much all you have to do. Just take B12 is the only supplement that plant-based doctors really recommend any vegan to take, whether, you know, no matter what age you're at. And then as an insurance policy, why not just take like prenatal vitamins and that kind of stuff if you're going to a vegan pregnancy or any pregnancy at all. And if you have a kid who's maybe like 5 years old or just, you know, has already started eating food, I think, you know, I don't have the experience myself of doing this, but I have friends who have gone through this, and I've heard, you know, other people going through this, and I think it's really about just making the food taste good. Because if you're giving your son or daughter mac and cheese and just like, you know, burritos or pizza, and then all of a sudden you're gonna switch it your lifestyle completely around and just give like salads and fruits and vegetables, of course it's not going to go well. Like, but that doesn't mean that they don't like a vegan diet. It's because you're just like completely switching their diet around, and that's not going to go well with them. So if you're already gotten in the habit of giving them like processed, tasty animal foods, then you got to start off by doing the exact same on a plant-based diet. You know, do the vegan pizzas, do the whatever like the alternative is, and then just like slowly introduce more whole plant foods, which is going to benefit their health so much more. So instead of focusing on restriction and taking things away, just replace and then add more healthy stuff. I think is the way to go.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, like I was a really unhealthy kid, so if you would have given me a bunch of like greens and stuff, I'd have been like, so whatever this diet is sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to eat green beans? Like, nope.
And a lot of kids are like that. Like, kids want to have what tastes good like anyone else. So.
Yeah, I mean, Noah was reaching for your yogurt today. Exactly. Like, get some of the ice cream. That's kind of what I figured you were gonna say. Is like, do your research. And I imagine there's a lot of content that's out on YouTube, and I'm sure there's tons more like on written internet. Like
100%. There's a lot of resources now, thankfully, with YouTube, and you know, like so many blogs now about parenting on a vegan diet. It's really good. Just use Google. Like I figure a lot of people have so many questions, they don't use Google, man.
Right.
Like that's all you got to do. Google, and then find some trustworthy sources. Do your research, and it's pretty simple.
Yeah, that's what I would do too. Like I'd be reading as much as I needed until I felt comfortable, and then I would go about it. Because like if you're not feeling comfortable going into it, it's not going to feel right.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're not confident in your own researching skills, you can consult with a plant-based doctor or a nutritionist or something, dietitian, just to really feel comfortable with your choices.
That's it. That's all I wanted to have you on here for. I just wanted to talk about that and kind of address some of you guys' questions that I've seen float around the internet and stuff. So if you guys have not checked out John Venus already, I implore you to check out my Norwegian brother. The link is the first thing you'll see in the description below. Seriously, go subscribe to him on YouTube. Go follow him on Instagram. He's a really good friend of mine. Thank you for coming on here, bro.
Thank you for having me. That's been amazing.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Let us know what you thought in the comments below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Team Beyond the Week.
CT.
Lift heavy or die Myron, motherfucker.
Team Beyond the Week.